Hello, and welcome to another one of our videos. Today's subject will be about the luxury of planes. Before we begin, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for notifications and updates on our future videos. In this video, we will be discussing the following: the history of planes, luxurious planes, and famous airplanes. Let's begin. Every day, we use planes to navigate around the world, cutting traveling time significantly. A huge breakthrough when we used to navigate using trains and ships. So how did planes spiral into action? To understand this, we will first look into the history of planes. Although aviation has existed for more than 2,000 years, ranging from kites to air balloons, we will be keeping this relevant to the history of planes, leading to the first invention. In 1903, Orville and Wilbur, also known as the Wright brothers, built the first functional airplane. In 1919, the NC-4 is the first plane to cross the Atlantic Ocean. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh completes the first solo non-stop transatlantic flight in the Spirit of St. Louis, traveling from New York to Paris, France. In 1930, the first transatlantic proving flights take place in Panama and BOAC, traveling from Newfoundland to Foynes and vice versa. In 1940s, transatlantic passenger flights in Foynes commence after World War II land planes take over. In the 1950s, flights are offered in the first commercial jet airliner, the de Havilland DH-106 Comet. In the 1960s, man lands on the moon and Boeing releases the 747. In the 1970s, Aerospatiale and the British Aircraft Corporation unite to develop the Concorde, the first and only supersonic civilian aircraft. In the 1980s, the first reusable spacecraft, Space Shuttle, is launched. In the 1990s, NASA sends the first Mars Pathfinder to Mars. 2000s, the first non-stop round-the-world flight by solar and battery-powered airplane is completed. Airbus released the A380 double-decker civilian passenger jet. 2010, Virgin Galactic starts civilian passenger flight into space. Now that we understand the history of planes, let's have a look at some of the most luxurious private jet models in the world, starting with Gulfstream G650ER. The range for this one is 7,500 nautical miles, a max cruise speed of 597 miles per hour, and the cost for this jet is £51 million. The Gulfstream G650ER is one of the world's longest range business jets, capable of traveling further and faster than most of its competitors, seating up to 19 passengers. It can fly non-stop between key business hubs like from New York to Hong Kong or London to Singapore. The jet has broken multiple speed records and uses the latest cockpit technology, including a fly-by-wire flight system and an enhanced vision system. For maximum comfort, the jet has the lowest cabin altitude in its class. Boeing BBJ Max 7, range 7,000 nmi, max cruise speed 527 miles per hour. The cost of this one is £76.5 million. Boeing unveiled its latest luxury private jet interior at 2018 National Business Aviation Association Conference. The Genesis concept, designed by SkyStyle, takes inspiration from nature, with a white, grey and blue colour palette representing clouds floating above a white sand beach. Airbus ACJ Neo range 6,000 to 10,400 nmi, max cruise speed 541 to 567 miles per hour. The cost of this one is 65 to 70 million pounds. Airbus offers a range of business jets that feature heavily in private aircraft guides. The ACJ320 Neo can seat up to 25 passengers and has a 6,000 nmi range. It's available in the Melody design, whose flowing lines and curved walls are inspired by desert dunes and rivers. Cessna Citation longitude and hemisphere, range 3,500 to 4,500 nmi, max cruise speed 548 miles per hour, cost 19.8 to 26.7 million pounds. The Cessna Citation Latitude is a super mid-sized jet, perfect for private charter flights. It seats up to 12 people with a 4-passenger range of 3,500 nmi. The cabin is the quietest in its class and has 15 large windows to deliver stellar views and maximum natural light. Embraer Lineage 1000E, range 4,600 nmi, max cruise speed 543 mph, cost £40.5 million. Based on the Embraer E190 regional airliner, this one can carry 19 passengers and has a large baggage compartment. The cabin layout features 5 zones spread over 10,000 cubic feet, which can be arranged in various configurations. The Bombardier Global 7000, range 7,300 nmi, max cruise speed 700 mph, cost £52.5 million. The Bombardier Global 7000 has a massively improved maximum flight range over its predecessors, making this the premium private craft in Bombardier's flagship range of jets. The plane's NMI range means that this aircraft is capable of transporting its 19 passengers non-stop between Sydney and San Francisco, New York and Dubai, or even London and Singapore. Amazing private jets for sure. But let's remind you of some of the most famous airplanes in history. Mind you, this list is shortened as there are many famous airplanes in the world. Starting with number 1, Blériot XI, or Blériot 11. Aviation pioneer Louis Blériot was so inspired by the Wright brothers' ability to use wing warping to fly an airplane that he modified this one-of-a-kind monoplane and set off to become the first person to cross the English Channel in a heavier-than-air aircraft. His success resulted in a cultural epiphany that aviation wasn't simply a toy for rich boys, but could be a valuable tool to shrink the world. The Supermarine Spitfire was the only British fighter in continuous production throughout the entire Second World War. It became the backbone of the Royal Air Force Fighter Command and was most noted for beating back the German Luftwaffe during the Battle of Britain. The Boeing 787. The Dreamliner is Boeing's first ever airliner, constructed primarily out of composite materials. The fuselage is assembled by joining large, composite barrel sections as opposed to the traditional method of attaching multiple aluminum sections with thousands of fasteners. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. Although the Blackbird last flew in 1999, it still holds the world record for the fastest air-breathing manned airplane in history, which it achieved in 1976. The Cirrus SR22. It took the general aviation world by storm in 2001 and has been the best-selling single-engine 4-seat aircraft for more than a decade. Learjet 23. Back in 1960, Bill Lear moved to Switzerland from his home in California to form the Swiss-American Aviation Corporation, with the intention of redesigning the FFA P-16 ground attack fighter prototype. And lastly, the Lockheed C130. This 4-engine turboprop military transport built by Lockheed Martin has been in continuous production longer than any other military aircraft. In its 50 years of service, it has earned a reputation at being the most flexible and versatile workhorse of the armed forces. And there you have it. I really hope you found this video informative and useful. Thank you so much for watching, and take care everyone.